Hey everybody, how are you? I hope you're all doing really well. And this video today that I wanted to share with everybody is an experience that I had on New Year's. Um, in the past, I've talked a lot about relationship anxiety and my personal experience with it. And I had a situation arise on New Year's Eve. Mine and my boyfriend's plans were set, and then there was a change that was going to be thrown into the mix. And I don't do very well with change. I know there's a lot of people that don't. And in the past, a change in my routine or a change in plans would really trigger me a lot, and it would cause me to become extremely anxious, and it would just sort of cause my wall to go up in my relationship. And over the last year, that happened to me a lot. I really struggled to let go of my need to control my partner and to control our plans and to control our whole days and our weeks and everything like that. And that is how I set up a feeling of safety in my relationship, is I micromanage and I try to control everything. And last year was exhausting for me trying to do that. I was just so tired of being triggered and of having that pattern, that emotional, anxious pattern for me come up. And on New Year's Eve, I just find the timing so perfect because we were going into a new year. So the morning of New Year's Eve, change in plans come up. And I felt my usual anxiety. I could feel my thoughts just going down that rabbit hole of, okay, well, we had plans and these are changes, and if these changes happen, then that means that, we're not going to be able to spend New Year's together, and what does that say for our relationship? And just down the rabbit hole of doubt and mistrust and just everything that causes me to feel really shitty and to put a block up in my relationship. And I was driving out to Canmore to get my hair done, and I think the mountains really helped clear my head. And I talked to my sister a little bit about it too, which helped. And I just kind of had this feeling, and I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this again. I am not going to continue to have another year tormented by these thoughts, tormented by this anxiety. I really want to choose not to bring this relationship anxiety and doubt into another year of my relationship. And I just had this really big awareness hit me, and I just made the decision. I was like, okay, I'm not bringing this with me. This pattern is not going to continue. It's exhausting. I can't put my energy anywhere else if this continues. And this isn't how I want to move forward. And this isn't going to help my relationship or my partner. So I just kind of said to my boyfriend, I said, okay, here's the deal. This is how I'm feeling about it. But I said, I understand that things change. And so if we need to not spend New Year's together, if we're not together at midnight, that's okay. And I'm going to continue to do what we planned to do. And if you make it on time, that is awesome, and I'll be so happy. But if you don't, I'll see you at home, and it's okay. And I really meant it. It wasn't one of those things where I just said that because I wanted it to be true. And I'd done that a lot in the past. I'd said it's okay because I wanted it to be okay, but I didn't feel like it was okay. This time I actually felt with every fiber of my being that it was okay. And I just felt something shift in our conversation. And my boyfriend actually said to me, I said, how do you feel after having me say that to you? And he goes, I feel relieved because I feel like you trust me now. And I feel like you trust my decisions. And I realized at that point that I did. And it was a really beautiful moment for me because I felt relieved. I felt a shift in my trust in myself, and I actually felt a shift in my trust towards him. And I just sort of made the decision that, you know what, I'm going to trust him and his decisions, and I'm going to trust myself and my decisions going forward. And I'm sure that I'm going to experience anxiety and doubt in the future, and I already have, actually. I've had a few moments of, panic or anxiety come up, and I go back to that moment. I go back to our conversation, and I go back to my decision. every single time, my decision is to recognize that thought immediately as soon as it starts and to stop it, because it's not true and it's my fear. And it's my old pattern that wants to just take me down that road again in order to distract me and to create blocks and to keep me stuck. And that is what I decided to let go of. And I signed up for this 30-day yoga challenge, which has been a huge help. But also just making that decision and making that intention and really meaning it has had a huge, huge impact. And I wanted to share that with anybody who has experienced dating anxiety, relationship anxiety, social anxiety, anything like that. It has been a long process for me to get to that point to be able to say to my partner and to myself, I'm done. I'm done with this. I want to let go of this, and I'm going to let go of this. So I wanted to share that really personal experience with all of you, because I know that I'm not the only one who has experienced a tremendous amount of anxiety in my relationship, in my partnership. I've had anxiety with my friendships, with my family, like you name it. Connections are one of the scariest things, because we have to open ourselves up and we have to let ourselves be vulnerable. And for me, trusting my partner and his decisions makes me vulnerable, because I don't get to control that. And that freaked me out. That really freaked me out in the past. But I realized that if I really wanted a healthy relationship, it was mandatory that I do that. And like I said, it took me a really long time to get to that point. And it's not going to be perfect, I know that, but I really wanted to let everybody know how much it shifted my relationship since New Year's. Our quality time spent together, we don't spend more time together, but the times that we do spend together, my wall is down, my trust is there, and so our time together has so much more value to it now. We have quality time together instead of I was fighting for quantity before. And that's a huge change. And so I wanted to share that with all of you in hopes that it helps give you maybe a different perspective, and just to share that it is possible to move through the anxiety and to get through it. You have to keep going and have faith that eventually you will get to that point and you will say, you know what? I'm tired of this pattern and I don't want to do this anymore, and it will be your own personal decision. And I really hope and pray that all of you are able to experience that. And if you have had an experience with that, I would love to hear about it. If there's any comments that you want to leave, if there's any experiences you've had, please share it with the rest of us. Sharing really does bring us all together, and it's part of being and staying connected. So I hope you all have a really wonderful February. I'm going to start writing more blogs and keep sharing my videos with you once a month and in my newsletter. If you haven't signed up for my newsletter, you can do so on my website. There's a link on my webpage, and then you can get these videos and my blogs emailed to you. And I'm going to be doing some workshops coming up, so stay tuned for those. I'll be posting those on social media and things like that in the future. So I hope you all take care of yourselves and have a really wonderful rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.